I always thought love would be my redemption. A cure for the lonely ache that curled itself deep into my bones from a young age. I believed that marrying Derek would silence those whispers of doubt, that inner voice that asked if I was enough, if I was lovable. For a while, he did. Derek was steady where I was chaos, rational when I spiraled, calm where I burned. He loved me in a quiet, grounding way, and I loved him like he was the gravity holding me to earth. My friends envied us. My parents adored him. And my sister Emily, well, she smiled and said all the right things, but something always seemed off. Emily, the wild one. Emily, the one who couldn't hold down a job but always landed on her feet. Emily, the girl with a laugh that could charm a room and a selfish streak she masked with tears. Still, I loved her. I covered for her teenage mistakes, lent her money I didn't have, helped her hide secrets from our parents. I loved her the way you're supposed to love family, without question, without limit. She was my maid of honor. I should have known something was wrong that night, our wedding night. After the guests had gone and the champagne had dulled my senses, I came out of the hotel bathroom to find Derek staring blankly out the window. The city lights reflected in his eyes, but they didn't sparkle. I stood there in my silk robe, hair still pinned in soft waves, expecting a smile, a kiss, a whisper of forever. He barely looked at me. Said he was tired. I kissed his cheek and told myself it was nerves. We were exhausted. It had been a long day. But the distance grew. Slowly, methodically. He stopped kissing me in the morning. Stopped texting during the day. Our weekend traditions, coffee and farmers markets, movie nights under a blanket, faded into memory. When I asked if something was wrong, he shrugged. You're imagining things. So I did what I always do when something hurts, I buried it. I buried myself in work, stayed late at the office, joined a book club I never attended. Anything to avoid coming home to a man who barely noticed I was there. I told myself love changed after marriage. This was normal. This was just growing pains. But deep down, a part of me screamed. And then there was Emily. Always floating in and out of our lives like a sparkler burning too fast. She laughed more than usual during family dinners, her phone glued to her hand, screen face down. She left early more often. She said it was work, or a guy, or therapy. Always a new excuse. And I, blind, trusting, naive, believed her. Or wanted to. It was a Tuesday when I found out. The kind of day that doesn't warn you your world is about to collapse. I had taken the afternoon off and decided to cook dinner. Emily came over, claimed she had to print something and asked to borrow my laptop while I chopped vegetables. It wasn't strange. She'd done it before, only that night, she forgot to log out. I opened the laptop after she left and there it was, her email, still open. The subject line caught my eye, last night was perfect. My heart kicked against my ribs as I clicked. The message was from Derek. It wasn't long, just a few lines, but it was enough. I can't stop thinking about you. You looked so beautiful sleeping next to me. The knife dropped from my hand. My breath came in short, ragged gasps. My legs felt like wet sand. I read it again and again, hoping I had misunderstood. Hoping there was another Derek. Another explanation. But there wasn't. I knew his writing. I knew his rhythm. I knew the way he said, beautiful. I confronted Emily the next morning. She blinked, wide-eyed, then laughed. Laughed. Derek, really? You think I'd do that to you? God, Lena, you're paranoid. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her. But the words kept echoing in my mind. You looked so beautiful sleeping next to me. 3 days later, I came home early from work. I had a migraine and just wanted to sleep. But as I walked into our apartment, I heard it. Laughter. A soft gasp. The unmistakable sound of kissing. And there they were, on my couch. My husband. My sister. Time didn't freeze. It burned. My skin, my eyes, my throat. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just turned and walked out. Emily followed me, shouting my name. I didn't turn around. That night, Derek texted me, we didn't mean for it to happen. Didn't mean to kiss her. To undress her. To lie to me for months. That text was the final insult. A coward's excuse. He moved out within a week. 2 months later, he posted a photo on Instagram. Him and Emily on a beach, her head on his shoulder, the caption, "Sometimes life takes you where you belong." I deleted the app that day. The fallout was nuclear. My mother cried for weeks, blaming herself, blaming all of us. My father went silent, stopped speaking to either of them. Friends took sides. Some said I should forgive them. Others said I should burn every bridge. I chose silence. I stopped answering Emily's calls. I blocked Derek. I started therapy. I moved into a new apartment, painted the walls yellow. Adopted a dog named Rue. At first, I could barely get out of bed. But slowly, painfully, I stitched myself back together. There were good days. There were awful days. But I kept going. I took myself out to dinner. I went to the movies alone and laughed out loud. I cried in the shower, sang in the car. I remembered who I was before him. Before her. And I liked her. A year and a half later, there was a knock at my door. It was Emily. She looked thinner, pale. Her eyes had dark circles and a hollow kind of regret. I stood in the doorway, arms crossed. "He left me," she said. Her voice cracked. "He cheated on me. With some girl at work. Said I was too dramatic. That I was exhausting." I didn't say a word. She wiped her eyes. "I was wrong. About everything. About you. About him. I thought if I had what you had, I'd finally feel like someone. I thought being with him would make me matter." She wasn't crying because she missed him. She was crying because the fantasy had shattered. Because she'd mistaken destruction for empowerment. And she'd lost. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Can we please talk?" I looked at her, really looked. The sister I had once braided hair with. The girl I once called my best friend. And all I felt was distance. "I don't hate you," I said. "But I don't want you in my life." Her mouth opened, but no sound came. "You made your choice," I added. "Now live with it." I closed the door. I sat down on the couch, Rue curled at my feet. The silence wrapped around me like a blanket. It didn't feel lonely. It felt sacred. Because closure doesn't always come wrapped in forgiveness. Sometimes it comes when you finally choose yourself. And I had.